हेलो एंड वेलकम फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू ज्ञान गंगा क्लासेस। और हम लेकर के आते हैं इंटरेस्टिंग एजुकेशनल वीडियोस कवरिंग ऑल योर टॉपिक्स एंड करिकुलम ऑफ अबाउट द CBSE क्लासेस। सो अभी हम लेकर के आए क्लास 6 साइंस की चैप्टर नंबर 11 लाइट, शैडोज एंड रिफ्लेक्शन। इस वीडियो में मैं इस पूरे चैप्टर के सारे कंसेप्ट्स को एक्सप्लेन करके I will break down in small parts for you कि आपको बाइट साइज वीडियोस में भी ये पूरे चैप्टर क्लियर हो जाए। ठीक है, तो चलिए हम शुरू करते हैं आज का ये चैप्टर। We will cover today light and its sources, propagation of light, medium of light, shadows, reflection or images, and we will learn about the pinhole camera working. हम ये सारी चीज़ों के बारे में जानेंगे। फ्रॉम द लाइट्स, लाइट क्या होती है, उसके सोर्सेज क्या होते हैं, उसकी प्रोपगेशन क्या होता है, मीडियम्स क्या क्या होते हैं, शैडो किसे कहते हैं, रिफ्लेक्शन कैसे होता है, इमेजेस एंड पिनहोल कैमरा क्या होता है और उसकी वर्किंग कैसे होती है। तो मेक श्योर यू लाइक दिस वीडियो एंड हिट द सब्सक्राइब बटन एंड द बेल आइकन टू नेवर मिस एनी वीडियो अपडेट। Lights and its sources. What is light? Light क्या है? आप in general देखो, if you are sitting in a place, then you use the electric bulb for the source of light, तभी रोशनी मिलती है। और in the day, if you go outside, there is sun, आपको वहाँ से रोशनी मिलती है। There is everywhere there is light, and in the night, what it is? It is dark. When it is bright, we say it is light, and when it is dark, we say it is night. So, light is a form of energy that help us to think, see things. Light क्या है? एक ऐसी form of energy है जिससे कि हम चीज़ों को देख सकते हैं. It help us to see things. Like objects can be divided up to as luminous or non-luminous. या तो ल्यूमिनस वो ऑब्जेक्ट्स हैं जिनसे कि लाइट एमिट होती है, जो कि लाइट देते हैं, और नॉन ल्यूमिनस वो है जो कि लाइट नहीं देते। द ऑब्जेक्ट्स दैट एमिट लाइट आर नोन एज ल्यूमिनस एंड द ऑब्जेक्ट्स दैट डू नॉट एमिट लाइट आर नोन एज नॉन ल्यूमिनस। ल्यूमिनस के ऐसे कोई एग्जांपल दे सकते हो? यस, द सोर्सेज सन, बल्ब. And non-luminous is everything, wood, rubber, anything that do not give light. So, luminous objects are also known as sources of light, light sources. Okay? तो जानते हैं light sources के बारे में। Light sources यानी sources of light जो है that can be further divided as natural and artificial. तो क्या हो सकती है? नेचुरल हो सकती है और आर्टिफिशियल। आर्टिफिशियल यानी मैन मेड, नेचुरल यानी दैट इज प्रोवाइडेड बाय नेचर। लाइक सन एंड स्टार्स आर इन नेचर, एंड आर्टिफिशियल सोर्स ऑफ लाइट आप क्या कह सकते हो? इलेक्ट्रिक बल्ब, कैंडल, दीज आर द आर्टिफिशियल सोर्स। सो नाउ प्रोपगेशन ऑफ लाइट। What is propagation? Propagation से क्या मतलब है? Propagation का मीनिंग होता है the travel, the movement. Okay? So let us do a experiment. Have a candle over there. Put 3 cardboards of equal size with the same single hole in the center at same place. Okay? And then see from a far point like this from the in front. आप क्या दिखेगा? आपको वो लाइट रे दिखेगी। अच्छा, आप नेक्स्ट देखो कि व्हेन यू हैव अ टॉर्च एंड देन जस्ट यू पुट योर हैंड एट द फ्रंट ऑफ द ग्लास ऑफ इट, देन नो लाइट सोर्स इज एमिटेड. ओके, एंड देन व्हेन यू जस्ट give it a little space, That is, you just move your hand in at a little space that a hole type ka thing is formed in the center. Then from that hole the light is coming to you. Then rest is also still covered. So this way we can say, when there is an object, that is, light does not go in a zigzag way, it just goes to straight. When there is object, it just stop over there. So we can say with this experiment that light always travel in a straight line. Light हमेशा क्या है, straight line में travel करती है. So what is the propagation of light? It is the linear propagation. It is the linear movement. This property of light to travel in a straight path is called rectilinear propagation or the linear propagation of light. अभी लास्ट चैप्टर जब हमने मोशन पढ़ा था तो वी अंडरस्टूड अबाउट द रेक्टिलिनियर मोशन. तो यही मोशन ही है प्रोपगेशन. तो रेक्टिलिनियर प्रोपगेशन, रेक्टिलिनियर मूवमेंट ऑफ द लाइट, दैट इज the property of light to travel in a straight line, सीधी लाइन पे travel in a straight line is the rectilinear propagation of light. And also for the fact, let us know that light travels at a speed of 3 lakh kilometer per second. That is 3 into 10 to the power 5 kilometer per second. Light rays. अब light rays क्या होती है? This is a light ray. A line with the arrowhead on the side representing the traveling path, traveling direction of the light is called the light ray. ये है आपकी एक light ray. The line that shows the traveling path of light with the arrowhead on one side is called the light ray. And beam of light, the group of light rays together is called a beam of light or the light beam. That all are going into one direction. The group of parallel, or you can say if it's unparalleled also, then also it is known as beam of light, that is known as parallel beam of unparalleled rays. Okay, so light travel in one direction, so light rays travel in one direction in a straight path, then every light direction is in parallel way. Every light ray is parallel to each other in an ideal situation. Then medium of light. मीडियम ऑफ लाइट क्या है? मीडियम्स यानी कि अलग अलग तरीके जो कि उससे पास होते होंगे. That is, we have 3 mediums. One is opaque. It is a hard surface that is just do not allow light to pass through it. उस पर light rays जाती हैं and it does not pass through it. It's just stay there. Either it's absorbed or it is reflected. Reflected के बारे में हम आगे चल के पढ़ेंगे. तो opaque क्या है? Opaque है, opaque is an object that do not allow the light rays to pass through it. Okay. Then the translucent. The medium, translucent is a medium that allows some of the light to pass through it. Transparent, the medium that allow all of the light rays to pass through it is transparent. Transparent क्या होगा? इसीलिए वो shiny दिखता है. Like a glass. Glass is a transparent medium. So we have here our transparent mediums. Opaque, this is an opaque. It does not allow the light to pass through it. Translucent, it allows a little light to pass through it. And transparent, it allows all of the light to pass through it. So see, opaque से हमें कुछ नहीं दिखा है यहाँ पे. It just blocked the way. Translucent, we can see the things partially through it. Transparent, we can see everything through it. Okay. Now let us learn about shadows. Shadows क्या होती है? When the light rays are traveling and then there is a hard object, that is a opaque object in between, then the shadow is formed, dark shade is formed of that object due to the light covering area on the other side. इसको अच्छे से समझिए. Like here it is a ball. This is the light source. Light rays इस तरह से आ रही है. You can see this dark shade. This is the shadow of the ball. because light rays does not pass through it and it is the dark of the this is in light rays direction side, it is on the opposite side of the light source. Okay, dark shade formed by an opaque object when it comes in the light path of light is the shadow. क्या हो गया, ये shadow क्या है, ये dark shade है formed by an opaque object when it comes into the path of light. समझ आ गया? Shadow is formed because क्यों form होती है? Rectilinear propagation of light and the object block its path, a dark shadow is formed. Is formed because of rectilinear propagation of light. It is a rectilinear propagation and an object is blocking its path. Then the shadow is formed on the opposite direction of the light source. अब देखिए हमने अभी मीडियम्स पढ़े थे, तो मीडियम्स में हम शैडोज के बारे में जानते हैं कि मीडियम्स में ओपेक अगर मीडियम है तो इट फॉर्म्स डार्क शैडोज, देन ट्रांसल्यूसेंट इट फॉर्म लाइट शैडोज, एंड ट्रांसपेरेंट में आप बताओ ऑल लाइट पास थ्रू इट, तो क्या यहाँ पे शैडो बनेगी? नहीं, इट विल नॉट फॉर्म शैडोज. चलिए और जानते हैं शैडोज की प्रॉपर्टी. प्रॉपर्टी क्या है इसकी? इट इज फॉर्म्ड इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ लाइट सोर्स, ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट एंड अ स्क्रीन. स्क्रीन इज द ग्राउंड हो सकता है, स्क्रीन आपका इन फ्रंट हो सकता है, एनीथिंग वेयर द शैडो फॉल्स दैट इज इन द अपोजिट डायरेक्शन. हियर इट इज द लाइट सोर्स, this ground is acting like a screen here and these are the opaque objects. So light source आया, light source के अब इधर आपका shadow ये dark shade पड़ रहा है on the screen. For this cylindrical object, this object is acting like a screen, you can see here. चलिए, it is always formed in the opposite side of object, in the front of the opposite side of the light source. Okay, irrespective of the color of object, शैडो कलर इज ऑलवेज ब्लैक. आप देख सकते हो हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट इज इन डिफरेंट कलर बट ऑल शैडोज आर इन ब्लैक. साइज ऑफ शैडो डिपेंड अपॉन द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द लाइट सोर्स एंड द ऑब्जेक्ट. आप यहाँ पे देखो हर एक ऑब्जेक्ट की अपनी तरीके की शैडो है. इट इज हैविंग ए लॉन्ग शैडो, दिस इज हैविंग ए ब्रॉडर एंड स्मॉलर शैडो. सो जस्ट बिकॉज डिपेंडिंग ऑन द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द लाइट सोर्स and the object and the screen, the shadow size of shadow falls like that. समझ आई क्या क्या प्रॉपर्टीज है? It is formed with the presence of light, opaque and screen. Then it is formed in the opposite direction of light source, opposite side of object. Then irrespective of the color of object, shadow color is always black. And the last, the size of shadow depend upon the distance between light source and object and screen. Now let us learn about reflection. Reflection क्या होता है? आप यहाँ पे देख रहे हो, we have a mirror. Then these light rays are coming and these are then reflected upon like this. And the interesting thing, the angle at which the light rays are falling on the mirror, it is the same angle at which they are reflected. And all rays, if the all rays comes to like this, then the all rays are reflected in a parallel beam. Okay, तो parallel ही रही. It is a rectilinear motion still, but it is reflected and it's just reflected in the opposite direction at the same angle. Okay, so reflection, the phenomena by which light rays falling on an object bounce back fully or partially. ये mirror है इसलिए it bounced फुल्ली और पार्शली. यहाँ क्या होगा? मिरर तो मिरर में से आपका मिरर ग्लास है, लेकिन मिरर इज नॉट अ ट्रांसपेरेंट. वी सी फोटोज, वी सी आवर इमेजेस इन देयर, सो इट इज नॉट ट्रांसपेरेंट, सो दैट इज व्हाई इट रिफ्लेक्ट्स. ग्लास डज नॉट रिफ्लेक्ट and mirror reflect the light rays. So it is a phenomena. What is reflection? Reflection एक phenomena है about the light rays of falling on an object and bouncing back fully or partially. This is reflection of light. Light rays falling on an object is the incident ray. ये रे यहाँ तक आ रही है, it is falling on the object, it is called incident ray. The light that gets bounced back, the light ray that gets bounced back is known as reflected ray. Okay? The reflection of light help us see the object around us. रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ लाइट की ही वजह से हमें ऑब्जेक्ट्स दिखते हैं. because every object reflects some or all of the light rays. We can see the reflection can be of two types here. If a smooth surface is there, then all reflected rays are even and in the same direction. Okay, so it is a regular reflection. Smooth rays surfaces reflect all the rays evenly, so the surface look even, and reflection is known as regular reflection. And here it is a rough surface, और इस पे incident rays जो आ रही हैं, it reflects in an uneven manner. So the surface looks uneven and reflection is irregular. Clear है? Basic अभी इतना ही हमको सीखना है. Now let us learn about the images. Images पढ़ने के पहले हमको image किस में दिखती है? In general. You look at yourself in mirror. So वो हमारी image है. हम तो इधर हैं. We are real and that is the image. So what is mirror? Mirror is a transparent surface with a silver backing to reflect the light and produce images. Mirror क्या है? Mirror is a transparent. लेकिन transparent तो है नहीं, मुझे तो इसमें से अपनी image दिखती है. वो कैसे? Because it has a silver backing to reflect the light and produce images. That is why mirror is a object that produce images of us. So it produces a reflected opposite image. आप यहाँ देख सकते हो, man is standing like this with his right hand above, and in the image you can see as the image direction its left hand is above. It is just it produces a reflected opposite image of the man. Clear? Now what is image formation? When reflected rays fall on the surface from the shape and form a shape and look similar to that object, it is called image. ये क्या है? इसके थ्रू सारी रेज यहाँ से इसके साइड से ऐसे पास की, then it gets reflected from the surface back, or it forms a shape here. So this shape looks similar to the object and it is called image. That is why it is a reflected image here. Okay. Images have color unlike the shadows. Shadows में color नहीं होते, it's all black, or images produces in colors, the same color as the object. Real image and virtual image, ये दो type की images होती हैं. Real is the image formed by actual convergence of light rays. Real images always form on screen. Real images जैसे जाती हैं, आप ये mirror पे देखें, it comes. So it is a real image, it forms on the screen, you can see it. Virtual image is the apparent convergence of the diverging light rays, which virtual images cannot be obtained on the screen. इनको हम screen पे नहीं देख सकते, we can just assume it. Pinhole camera. Pinhole camera क्या है? ये एक कैमरा है. It is a basically simple camera which is light proof with a thin film on it as a screen and a small hole for the entrance of light rays. Okay, so this is a film screen. This is the screen where the thin film is placed, that is so that image is produced here, and having a small hole on the opposite direction of the box so that light rays comes in. And this is a simple camera with a light proof. बाकी क्या है? Light proof है, मतलब वहाँ पे transparent नहीं, वहाँ opaque object से बना है. Clear? So it works on a principle of rectilinear propagation of light. किस principle पे बना है? It's made on the principle of rectilinear propagation of light. So ये कैसे work करता है? जब इसके through light rays cross करती हैं, it produces an image on the other side, that is the film. Okay. When the reflected rays from the object enters the pinhole, then the image is formed. Like here, the ray from the top of the image enters the hole and reaches the bottom of the screen. Because rectilinear motion है, so it is in a straight line, and the ray from the bottom of object goes in above direction in a straight line and goes to the pinhole camera. It is traveling in a straight line. So what is this? कि नीचे वाला ऊपर पहुंच गया, ऊपर वाला नीचे. So it's bottoms up and the image formed is inverted. It is the opposite direction. It produces the inverted image. कैसे invert image form हुई समझ आया? तो pinhole में हमेशा क्या है? Inverted image gets formed. So now this depends on the size of hole कि कैसी image हमें form होती है. If it is very very tiny, small, then it produces sharp but dull image because less light rays are going through it. Then if it is a bigger hole, then it produces bright because larger hole gives large amount of light inside. It gives a bigger picture, brighter picture, but the blurry picture. It is so many light rays going through, so it is not as sharp as the small hole could produce it. Okay. Then the color of image is same of the object, and the size of image formed may be smaller than the object, larger or of the same size depending on the distance between the camera and the object. क्लियर है कैसे हम लोगों ने ये चीज़ जानी इस सब के बारे में? आई होप आपको ये चीज़ समझ आई होगी। और इसी के साथ हम ये अपनी वीडियो यहाँ पे एंड करते हैं। कोई डाउट है, कोई क्वेश्चन है, आप हमें कमेंट करके ज़रूर बताइए। आई विल क्लियर योर ऑल डाउट्स। एंड अभी तक हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए।